Ever since humans have harnessed the wonders of science and technology, there is one thing that has kept us all intrigued: the space. In early times, it was the study of stars, moons, and planets from the surface of the Earth that thinkers and scientists used to determine what was out there. Gradually, these methods changed. Soon, we developed telescopes and probes. These were designed to the extent that they could actually be sent out of the Earth's atmosphere to study interstellar space. Two of these instruments were the Voyager 1 and 2, sent out by NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, in 1977. The primary purpose of the Voyagers was to collect data from space and send it back to Earth. It has been 45 years since the Voyagers were launched into space. Up till now, they have been functioning exceptionally well, more than what was initially expected from them. But there is something very mysterious and possibly terrifying going on with the Voyagers now. The Voyagers 1 and 2 hold the honor of being the first and only two man-made spacecrafts to have entered interstellar space. Scientists defined interstellar space as being the place where the sun's constant flow of material and magnetic field stop affecting its surroundings. The credit is only the Voyagers to hold because it is not possible to reach where the Voyagers are stationed. NASA made good use of a particular planetary alignment that was only possible every 200 years in order to propel the Voyagers to make it into interstellar space. It might be interesting to note here that the Voyagers' primary mission was never to enter interstellar space. When they were launched in 1977, NASA quoted their primary mission to be the exploration of Jupiter and Saturn. Together, Voyager 1 and 2 managed to discover enough to rewrite textbooks, as NASA claims, in their primary mission only. Some of the most notable discoveries from the Voyager's primary mission include the complicated details in Saturn's rings and the first nitrogen-containing atmosphere other than Earth's on Saturn's moon Titan. The Voyager 1 also managed to discover a thin ring around Jupiter and two more of its moons, namely Thebe and Metis. The launch of both the Voyagers was a carefully planned event. According to NASA's official website, the Voyager mission was designed to take advantage of a rare geometric arrangement of the outer planets. This layout of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune, which occurs about every 175 years, allows a spacecraft on a particular flight path to swing from one planet to the next without the need for large onboard propulsion systems. This meant that the Voyagers could study all four planets at a minimal cost and in a minimal time. Contrary to what you may perceive from their names, Voyager 2 was launched first on August 20, 1977. The Voyager 1 was launched about 15 days later on September 5, 1977. Both spacecrafts were from NASA's Kennedy Space Center at Cape Canaveral, Florida, aboard Titan Centaur expendable rockets. However, because the Voyager 1 was on a shorter and faster route and eventually overcame the Voyager 2, it was named this way. The Voyager 1 reached the gas giant Jupiter on March 5, 1979. It reached Saturn on November 12, 1980. It flew past Saturn's moon Titan and was hence able to study the Saturn's rings from behind. Using the gravitational forces and alignment of Saturn and its moon, the Voyager 1 path was bent northward as planned and exited the ecliptic plane. The ecliptic plane is the plane in which most of the planets orbit the Sun. In December 2004, data coming from Voyager 1 revealed that it had reached the termination shock, a region where solar winds slowed down to a little over 25,000 miles per hour. In contrast, their actual speed was millions of miles per hour. Soon, Voyager 1 became the first instrument to detect heliopause in space. The heliopause is defined as the boundary of the heliosphere, the spherical region around the Sun that is filled with solar magnetic fields and the outward-moving solar wind consisting of protons and electrons. This achievement of the Voyager 1 was detected during a coronal mass ejection, when the particles around Voyager 1 verbated with more intensity than those observed within the heliosphere. The Voyager 1 had successfully entered interstellar space on August 25, 2012. The route of Voyager 2. Voyager 2 followed a similar trajectory of Voyager 1 before both of them were separated for good. The spacecraft did a flyby of Saturn and moved swiftly towards Uranus. It went on to do a flyby of Neptune, closing in on it on August 25, 1989. Post its Neptune mission, the Voyager 2 moved southwards and out of the ecliptic plane. It, too, eventually exited the heliosphere on November 5, 2018. The Voyager contains what NASA calls the Golden Record. The Golden Records contain 2 phonograph records. It includes sounds like that of birds, wind, whales, 90 minutes worth of music and thunder, as well as a greeting in over 55 languages. Printed messages from NASA's President Carter and Secretary General Waldheim were also aboard the Voyager. The phonograph is programmed to play in case it is discovered by living creatures. Carl Sagan, the late consultant and advisor to NASA, confirmed this by saying, "The spacecraft will be encountered, and the record played only if there are advanced spacefaring civilizations in interstellar space." The Voyager sent back data in the form of radio signals, which are converted to and interpreted as numbers by NASA. Earlier this year, the Voyager 1 sent back a signal that did not seem readable. The number sequence did not make sense at all. The Voyager 1 could not even determine its exact location in space. This could have meant that either the Voyager 1 was malfunctioning or that it had been discovered by aliens. The latter possibility had been ruled out by the people at NASA, as none of the safety mechanisms had been triggered. According to them, the Voyager's alarm system will be activated if it is lost. But since the alarm system had not gone off despite the fact that the Voyager's coordinates are not clear at the moment, NASA presumed that there was only a minor malfunction in Voyager systems. It indeed had not been found by aliens. Later on, it was discovered that an old, useless computer was being used to transmit the data from the Voyager 1. NASA immediately corrected the problem as soon as it was discovered, using a remote-controlled correction mechanism. However, the question remains, what made the system trip so severely that the Voyager 1 let go of a perfectly healthy computing system and began using a corrupt one? Foregoing all absurd rumors of aliens having hijacked Voyager 1, let's focus on the more sensible conclusion. The Voyager 1 and 2 were not meant to stay in space for so long. Their original lifespan was only 5 years. However, because they were using energy from the planets, they managed to stay up and working for more than 45 years. It is very evident that the Voyager 1 and 2 are getting old and waning. Even if NASA keeps on running corrective mechanisms, we will not be able to benefit from the Voyager 1 and 2 for much longer. Will NASA come up with a modified replacement for the Voyagers, like it came up with the James Webb Space Telescope as a replacement for the Hubble telescope? Let's see what NASA reveals in time.